Because I don't understand what that has to do with me. What is the problem? It's not translated. It's common sense, ladies and gentlemen, but we still do the mistake the whole time. Please think about it. Then we ask them, hey guys, go out and tell your team. Tell about next year goals and strategy, what we need to focus on. What happens? Everyone go out and talk their own interpretation. In the end, it's even worse. They say, in marketing team, they interpret the strategy as marketing team want it to be. Of course, then we have a fight. We need to make sure that when we communicate strategy, we have the control. Say no. Where do you go? Go to mommy and ask. Perhaps I get yes. It's the same in any big company. It happens the same. If the leaders are not telling the same things, change will not happen. Your strategy will not happen. And the last thing that we always need to remember is we need to increase the use of two-way communication. I'm telling you, or I'm trying to sell to you my ideas and my experience, but we are not having a two-way communication. But in order to really get strategy executed, we need to make sure that when we communicate strategy, we have much more two-way communication. That means face-to-face meetings, discussing strategy. That means workshops. Not workshops training people about strategic planning. No. It's training people about our company's strategy. Where we're coming from, where we're heading, what's our priorities. And we need to do a lot more coaching. Every manager in your company needs to be better in coaching your people in the strategy. Lines go to the left, but people go to the right. So please remember, telling people is not enough, because information and communication is not the same thing. The title of this presentation was about communicate dialogue the whole time in the company. To do two-way dialogue, to do two-way communication, I said managers on every level need to coach employees on strategy. My big boss told me, I need to coach my team about the strategy. I don't know really what to say, but I just say what my boss told me to say, so I talk, right? The bigger problem, employees, they can sense, this guy doesn't know what he talk about. This guy is just talking what big boss told this guy to talk about. I don't believe it. We need to make sure that we help middle managers, that we equip them, we give them tools to talk about the strategy, so they get some confidence and support. We spend too much time planning strategy. We spend too much time writing and documenting strategy. We spend too much time trying to write the manual, the policy, and send out to people and say, okay, act according to this. We spend too much time to prescribe the solution. I mean, the strategy is the solution. And we spend too little time to help people to think for themselves. You have clever people in your company. Help them to understand. Help them to come to conclusion. They will understand. The content of the strategy, I have no idea, right? It depends on your situation. It depends on the people and how you explain. It depends on the markets, whatever. Right? The most important thing is how you communicate it. So when we work with the content, the first thing that we want to do when we're figuring out what to communicate is, when we take the strategy, let's say from the management team, the first job is simplify it. It's like this or that much. Normally it's about half a centimeter thick, right? If you print it out on A4. Simplify now doesn't mean to make it dumb. It doesn't mean to make it unintelligent. simplify means prioritize. On the board level or on senior management level, we work on with all the details. And that's okay, because that is the job. But on the front line, we need to know what are the few priorities that we need to focus on next year. And that is what we need to communicate. This is also common sense, but it's very funny. We come across this every time. Inside the strategic plan, there is not clear priorities all in the strategy. I don't care if it is 5,000 people in the company. If they are not involved in understand how they contribute to strategy, your strategy is just a piece of paper. Job of a leader on any level in the company is to help employees, their teams, to understand the strategy and discuss it. Get out of the meeting room and start to talk with people. And to do that, they need good tools. Not only newsletters and posters and emails and PowerPoints. The end in mind is this. Right? Everyone, even the guy in the last back of the queue, need to understand. What we make sure the slides are uploaded, and if you cannot find the web page, you're happy to send an email. The key conclusions are...
Tiến sĩ Alfred Smith, đồng giám đốc của Trung tâm Pháp Việt đào tạo về quản lý CFVG tại thành phố Hồ Chí Minh, Việt Nam, với chuyên đề huấn luyện cho doanh nghiệp giải pháp phát triển. Xin mời ông.
Hello everybody. So today I would like to present my experience in Vietnam as an educator and management training. So before moving on to one important theory that I think is very helpful, Vietnam since 1992, which is quite old for international business school in Vietnam. We have courses delivered mainly by international professors in both Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City, and all our courses are part-time courses, which means that you can do it while you are working, because courses are delivered in the evenings and in weekends. And here in Ho Chi Minh City, we are in the very center in District 1, located in Nguyen Van Thu. As I said, we've been in Vietnam since 19 years, which means that we have a wide network of alumni, around 1,700, and most of them, more than half of them, holding a top manager, senior management position, mainly in finance and banking. And so what are our programs? We have specialized programs. So if you work in the finance field, in a financial institution, we have a Master of Finance, which is delivered by two French institutions, ESCP Europe, by ESCP Europe, and Paris Sorbonne, which is probably the oldest university in Europe, which means that our students, while being in Vietnam, while working, get the very same courses as students in France, and are delivered and get awarded the very same. If you choose an MBA program, you should look at the accreditation. In Vietnam now you have many MBA programs with different quality, and one way to check the quality is to check if this program is accredited. And we are very lucky to be the only one in Vietnam which does international accreditation, EPAS accreditation, the only one in Vietnam with this European accreditation. But we are a non-for-profit business school. We are concerned about long-term investment and long-term training, and that's why we launched this year the PhD program, with which students will get also a French PhD program. Okay, so that's for CFG, so that we have an open day next Saturday in Van Thu. So we invite you or your colleagues or people who are interested, if you have some of your employees, some of your colleagues who are interested in training and specialists with our alumni who have been very successful. And this is held at Nguyen Van Thu here in District 1. So the whole day from 9 o'clock to 5 o'clock. Now let's talk a little bit and look at his 4 statements. So So there are 4 statements. And I ask you to think by yourself if you agree or disagree with these 4 statements. First one is your intelligence is something very basic about that you can't change very much. At the end, you don't really change how intelligent you are. Third statement, no matter how much intelligence, eventually change how intelligent you are. So think about these 4 statements and we try to be as honest as possible. Which is the statement that you think personally is the most precise, describes. And this is very important. Why? Because the way you think intelligence can be developed or not developed will influence a lot of your behavior, your attitude. And where does that come from? Actually, I think it stems from research from Carl Dweck's, who is a psychologist at Stanford University, who has developed what I think is a very powerful theory, because it can explain a lot of things, especially in corporate training. So what does it mean? There is an old debate about intelligence. Is intelligence innate, means that you get it once for all, or can it be cultivated? Can you grow intelligence? But here it's not a debate. Probably you have some initial endowments, probably education. Of course, we all believe that education helps. So probably it's between the two, but that's not the debate. The debate is, what are your personal beliefs?